Hello, welcome to the Golf Swing Weekly Fix. My name is Mark Crossfield. We've got a few swings coming at you this week from my app. These have come from my Android and iPhone app. These guys have sent me their swing through the app, so we're going to give them some help. We've got the Flippy Impact position here from this guy. We're going to talk about how to fix that position. We've also got the standing up on the backswing from this guy. So we're going to talk about how to make a better backswing, stay in your posture a little bit better. We've got very wide stance for a driver from this chap, making it very hard for him to make a decent follow through. We've also got a group of swingers here who've got strong grips, closed club face, and then doing the famous chicken wing anti-left hits to try and find targets. So we're going to give them some drills, some help to help you guys play some better golf. We've also got the giveaway this week, so we've got another Ashworth shirt going out to one of the viewers. Sent me a question. We're going to answer a question about graphite shafts. Some of the guys specialise in Project 5.5, Project X graphites in my irons here. So he's asking, are steel better than graphite? Are they worth the extra money? I'm going to talk about why I use graphite, and then hopefully you guys can work out maybe if you need it or not in your clubs. Let's get out there. Loads to do. Let's get stuck in. So the Flippy Impact, so the impact where the club is almost straightening, kind of at its most connected with your left arm as it gets before the ball, as it comes into the ball, there's the flip forward for impact. See this a lot in golfers, there's lots of reasons for this, there's millions of reasons for it, but a good drill to trying to get out of the habit of doing this is to use the mat. If you're at a golf course, try and use the mat, a golf range, so use the mat. Look, stand on the mat, 1 foot off, 1 foot on. So the mat, basically the back end of the mat is in the middle of your in the middle of your feet, in the middle of your stance. And then literally try and hit a few swings where you try and hit down on the mat, trying to put a bit of force into the mat, feeling like you're going to move it slightly forwards. You'll feel your weight moving into the back of it, and you're going to feel this shaft lean, these hands moving forwards. If you were to hit the mat how you're hitting the golf ball, with the club flicking forward of your hands, you'll feel that actually puts a bit of stress on your wrist. It's not that strong. So by getting that shaft lean into the ball and that weight forward, and as you hit the mat, having the hands connected up with your left arm in this nice straight line, gives you the feeling of hitting down and through the ball rather than getting to the ball and trying to flip it off the top of the turf. So do that for a couple of practice swings, get the feel of that, step into your shot, try and hit one. Trying to create that same feeling, like you're really trying to squeeze that ball down into the mat and forwards. Get that little bit of drive forwards with your hands rather than that flip. That's a great way to get the feeling of getting that shaft lean, getting that club forward of the head as it comes into the ball. They get that nice downward strike with your irons into the mat, get the ball compressing off the face and spinning up into the air at your target. Okay, another swing here. We've got a standing up on the backswing, and what you'll notice with this swing is look where the left shoulder gets in relationship to his mouth and his chin at the top of his backswing. There's a real collision of the two. Left shoulder's really coming up as he pushes his hips forward to make his backswing. Simple drill for you. Look, you can do it in two ways. Basically, you need to try and get your left shoulder coming down towards the ball more on the backswing. So really feel like if I put this club on my chest, get the grip end coming down more towards the ball. You can feel the way that makes your shoulders turn for you, which will be much more on a staying over the ball rather than this upward turn that you've got where you're just standing up on the backswing. Standing up on your backswing, coming out of your spine angle, your posture that you're beginning there so much is really going to affect the quality of strike. It's going to affect the direction you hit the ball as well, often putting maybe a lot of cuddy shots in there that you're not going to want. So try and get your left shin out the way of your shoulder. Get it simply going under, sorry, your left chin, you've only got one chin. Try and get your left shoulder under your chin on the backswing. So left shoulder turns under your chin and then through. You'll find that gets you staying much more over the ball as you make your backswing rather than this big lift up, which will help you stay on plane. More consistent strikes and certainly straighter shots as well. So remember, you've only got one chin, not a left and a right one, as I said earlier. Don't know where that came from. You want to get your left shoulder turning under your one, hopefully, chin. Left, shoulder, under your chin. Don't get your left shoulder coming up and colliding with your chin, which is just making you stand up on the backswing. It's going to create a whole number of horrible shots. Let me know how you go. So width of stance, here we go. This has to be one of the widest stances I've ever seen. This is one wide stance. It's too wide. And what you're going to see from this is he just can't go through the ball. He just falls off it after he comes through it. So you've got to have a width of stance. You've got to have a solid base to start from. But if you make it too wide, transferring weight on the downswing is just so hard to get across. It's such a big journey. So what will tend to happen is you won't make that journey. Club goes forward, body tends to fall back. You're going to hit any manner of shot from there, from a pull to a push, from a top to anything really. So look, width of stance, you've got your driver in your video you sent me. You want to be thinking about same width as your shoulders, so the gap between your two toes, so between the toe side of your shoes, about the same width as your shoulders. Just drop the clubs down, get someone to stand there. They can gauge that just by looking. Get the right width of stance. It's going to give you good stable balance to hit a shot from, but it's going to allow you to transfer your weight with that balance a little bit more successfully. The wider and wider and wider you get, the harder it will be to get your weight through. If you don't get your weight through, like I say, you're going to hit a number of funny golf shots. Width of stance, simple one. Same width as your shoulders with your driver, even for you, slightly less. Let's just not get, just getting a little carried away with the width of stance on that swing. Hope that helps. Let me know how you go. So the anti-left shots, all these players are scared, even though they might not think they are. They might hit the ball to the right, but that's a different story. They're actually, their coordination can feel that something's going to make that ball go left. So what they do in their swing is they then try not to let the club turn over in any way. They just hold the club off as long as they can to try and make the ball not go left, giving them the famous chicken wing follow through, where the left arm comes up and round the corner. Everything they're doing is trying to hold the face off, not let the face come over. Now, for each one of these guys, you take them up to the top of their backswing, and what you'll see is the club face is actually very closed. So that's where the scared of going left is coming from. They get to the top of the backswing and the face is closed. If you work that back to beginning, from most of them, can't see on all of them, but it looks a little bit like their right hand grips are too far underneath. So if you rewind it all back to the start, right hand grip goes underneath. That in turn helps them close the face, which will make the ball go left. So if they come through and release the club, make a good powerful hit through the ball, what will happen is their grip makes it go left, their release will tempt it a little bit left. That's a double left, and woo, off they go, bye-bye, full left. So what they do, they don't want to do that. Their coordinations can feel that there's something wrong. They can feel as they're coming in to hit the ball that the ball might go left. So they do everything they can to stop it going left, to give it the chicken wing. So how do you fix this? It's called a chicken wing. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. I've had success lots of ways in fixing this. First thing I've done with lots of people, rather than change the grip at the start, just leave the grip where it is and actually get them to start hitting the ball left. So actually get the grip to become the biggest thing they want to fix. So what happened? Get them to make some better releases on the way through, where they keep their left elbow inside their body line, not outside. So the chicken wing is this action where the arm comes out to the side. You want to keep your elbow inside your body line as the club comes over. You'll see that will naturally make the face turn over. Then with their right hand grip being in the strong position, what happens is they start hitting quite big pull hooks. They don't want to hit big pull hooks, so they then actually want to change their grip. If you change your grip first, so tackle it this way, get your right hand grip on top, you now have to feel strange with your right hand grip, which lots of people won't like, and you have to release the club. So you have to do two things from the outset, which is often harder. So look, my advice to you guys, have a go of trying to hit the ball left. Try and make a follow through much more connected, where you keep your elbow more inside your body line on the way through, which will help you turn the club over. Don't let your elbow get round the side, even to the end of your swing. Take it to extremes. Keep it inside your body line. You'll feel how that flips the club over. You'll probably find that you start hitting the ball quite a long way left, because your right hand grip is strong, which is going to turn it left also. So then what happens, if you get that shot, that pull shot, all you need to do then is put your right hand on top of the club. It'll feel awful, but as long as you make that same follow through, you're going to hit your target. You're going to be making a release rather than a chicken wing kind of weaker separated follow through. You're going to be making a much more rotational follow through, which is stronger, and you'll hit some better strikes for it. So look, I've done this in lots of other videos. If you go back through my catalogue, you'll see lots of chicken wing more in-depth videos. This is just a brief one just to show you again the order of how to fix this. I get lots of swings sent to me with this fault, and I've done lots of videos on it. So look, right hand grips is the issue, but before you change that, just practice hitting a few shots trying to release the club over by keeping your elbow inside your body line. Then what you'll do is you'll start pulling it. When you start pulling everything left, just get your right hand a bit more on top and you'll find that you hit the target much more often. Okay, great question here from a YouTube comment, simply asking, is it worth the extra money to get graphite over steel? So often graphite is more expensive than steel if you're buying a set of irons. So often as well, people think more expensive means better. So for instance, if I'm buying a car and I go for the more expensive option, often I'm getting the more deluxe interior or the bigger engine, so I'm getting better. So often in golf, people think the same way. If you're spending more money, you should simply be getting better. Well, that's not always the case. What you're getting is a more expensive material to deal with in graphite over steel. You'll notice from the people playing on telly that graphite in their irons particularly isn't very common. I use graphite in my irons, and again, that's not very common in my circles, the people I play with. I don't think anyone else is using graphites in their irons. So look, the reason I use graphite over steel is that when I bought these clubs, I was suffering from a bit of tennis elbow. And it gave me better peace of mind when I got the two clubs. So I've got two 5.5 Project X shafts here in 53s, which are the clubs I use. That's my iron there, 53 in the Project X Graphite. When I bought these irons, a bit of tennis elbow, the graphite felt a little softer on my elbow, it felt a little bit friendlier. Even if the science disproves that, that's how I felt. And that feeling to me was worth the change to graphite. The results I was getting were the same, very similar, hardly anything in it. So the fact that it felt a bit softer on my arm and felt like I could play even when I was struggling with my elbow, that to me was priceless. That was a feeling I wanted to buy into. So the extra money for the graphite over the steel, for me, made a big difference. For your average Joe out there playing with an average swing speed, so if you can hit a 7-iron around 150 yards, graphite over steel, it's not going to make a massive difference. The only time graphite for me in my fits really shows up as making a difference is when you take it to extremes. So in the driver, the extreme club, you'd always have that in a graphite to a steel. You would really notice a difference because of the length of the shaft, how heavy it would get in a steel. Also, when you take it to extreme swing speeds, if you go extremely fast, graphite often harder to compete with the steel, and then vice versa if you go extremely slow, so maybe senior golfers, junior golfers, people who aren't as strong, who might swing it slower, that's when the graphite kicks in and starts to make a bit of a difference in the ball flight, offering sometimes a little bit more height, sometimes a little bit more club head speed, because the lighter shaft often in a graphite helps them. So graphite over steel, is there a difference? Well, there is. You have to be taking it more to extremes, extreme clubs, extreme swing speeds, so slow or fast. For me, I had quite an extreme feeling in my elbow when hitting shots, so the graphite gave me that peace of mind. If I stand here now with my elbow feeling fine, using a steel over a graphite, can't feel much of a difference. I've got used to the feel of the graphite, which I slightly prefer. I certainly prefer it in my 3-iron, so again, if I take it to my longest iron, my more extreme iron, I feel the graphite just offers me a slightly better flight on a club that often launches lower. So is it worth the difference? Well, possibly. You need to get custom fit, get on a launch monitor to see what the actual difference is, but don't just think spending more money on the graphite means you're going to get a better club. That's not the case. It's getting something that suits your game, which is why it's so important you get on a decent launch monitor and get the clubs made for you. I bought these more on the fact that at the time I was struggling with my elbow, and the feel it gave me, even if the scientists or the doctors say it makes no difference, the feel it gave me, the peace of mind it gave me, made a big difference, and it's stuck. I can't see myself really going back. I feel I'm always going to use graphite in my irons because I like the feel now. Hope that helps. Thanks for sending the question. Another great question. I try and answer as many as I can in the giveaway. You're going to win an Ashworth shirt, so I'm going to email you. If you email me back your address and your size, and I'll get one sent off to you. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helps. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also, thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.